So, have you guys studied the program that I have given in the last session, the banking application code? If you have any doubts, then you can ask the same. Okay, class. So let's begin for today's session. There are few topics which are left over, and we will start. They are easy topics, basically. So we will start looking them one by one. So one thing we have not discussed yet is what we call as command line arguments in Java. So let me create a package as usual. Let me say in.ac.kh is the name of the package. That means we have got in folder. Inside that there will be a folder by the name AC, and inside AC there will be a GH folder. Okay. Then let me create a new class demo, say for example, and I want to have public static void main, I mean the main method to be automatically generated. So here you go. We have this class ready. So these arguments, as you can see, which are the parameters as declared in the main method. So it's a array of strings. Okay. So referred by the variable name args, it's an array of strings. So we have not seen the purpose of this parameter string array as of now, and let's see what is the purpose of it. So basically, the main method is something which is invoked by the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, right? This makes the starting point of the execution of the program. So as we have seen in our banking application, there are so many classes, and uh, we have only one method which contains the main method. Okay. So the main method is meant for the start of the execution of the program, and rest all the classes, the objects of the classes are created, and they keep on coordinating with the method calls. So in general, if you see application, then the probability is there will be just one method, probably, which will have the main method, one class which will have the main method. Or if it's a web application, probably we may not have even a single method, a single class which has the main method. So when we have the main method, then in that condition, there is this, argument, a string argument, a string array argument, and we call this string array argument as command line parameter. So this main method is invoked by the JVM. When we compile the code by Java C, bytecode is generated in the form of .class file, and then we invoke the JVM by calling Java space the name of the class. So it's like the name of the class along with the dot operator. Uh, this main method is being called because main is a static method, so we can the JVM can easily call the main method just by the name of the class itself. Like it's like the JVM makes a call like demo dot main and passes args to it, which is a string array. So this is how you can assume that the main method is being called from the JVM. Now, as of now, say for example, if I've written a program system.out.println to print something, say for example, uh, test. Okay, uh, I would like to copy this code and put it in a directory. Let me copy it. Copy this code demo.java, and let me put inside any directory. Say in C drive, I have got some of the folder must be there for demonstration for you guys. Say BCA. So BCA is there, right? So here, as you can remember, the first program that we have run by the name my first prog.java, it's here. So in the same BCA folder, I am pasting this demo.java. And one thing we have to change. In the Eclipse IDE that we have made, we have created a package for it. So either we have to keep this demo.java file in the same package by creating a package name, or we can just remove this package name so that it's in the default directory. It's assumed in the default directory without a package. So because I want to run this program from outside the IDE, so I'm just removing the name of the package. So it's just a public class demo. It has got the main method, and it has got the parameter of the main method is string array, referred by the variable name args. And here I'm just printing some message. Okay, if uh, let me open the command prompt, cmd cd / to get to the root directory, that is C drive. cd space bc is the directory. Okay, I've changed directory, and then here dir space demo.java. This is the file demo.java. So if you want to compile it, java c space demo.java, correct? We do not get a compilation error. That means the compilation must have been done. Let's check it, that whether the .class file has been generated or not. So dir space, let's see, de star dot star. So anything that starts with the de and anything which is appended after it with dot operator and again a start, that means any extension. So we see, 2 files and 3 directories. We are worried about the files. So we have got demo.java and demo.class. So that means the bytecode.demo.class has been generated. If I want to run this, what I will say is java space demo. That's it, right? Name of the class. Okay. Name of the class. And we get the output. So this was the code as of now, right? Now let me go back to the file and let me make some changes. This is my demo.java. Let me comment out this code and let me add some more code to it. See, args is an array of string, right? So what I can do is I can easily run a for loop, advanced for loop, which may contain, which may loop over this array of strings. So this is array. So I would need to fetch each element by element at a time. So string str column args. Okay. So that means args is the name of the array, which is the part of the main parameter of the main method, and we can keep on iterating over all the elements of this str of this args, and each element is kept into the str, which is a string, and then we can do whatever we like with the string. Say for example, I want to print the value of the string system. Let me copy it from here. str, the value of str in a line. Okay. Now, can someone tell me what could be the possible outcome of this program, or the output of this program, if I run it from the command prompt? Anyone? Am I audible, guys?
सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी कट
ओह, नेटवर्क इशू है। देखो, मैं कह रहा था कि ये जो मेन मेथड में जो आर्गुमेंट पास हो रहे हैं, ये जो आर्गुमेंट है args नाम से वेरिएबल जो है, ये क्या है? एक स्ट्रिंग अरे है, राइट? ठीक है, आवाज आ रही है?
यस सर।
तो अब ये जो स्ट्रिंग आर्गुमेंट अरे है, इसका जो पर्पस है, इसका क्या पर्पस है ये समझना है। अब तक हम इसको यूटिलाइज नहीं कर रहे थे, ठीक है? क्योंकि ये एक अरे है, तो जाहिर सी बात है अरे को हम ट्रैवर्स कर सकते हैं, यानी अरे के ऊपर आइटरेट करके उसके एलिमेंट को एक एक करके यूज कर सकते हैं किसी तरह से। तो यहाँ यूज करने का मतलब है मैं उसको प्रिंट करना चाह रहा हूँ, राइट? ओके,
जी सर।
सिंटेक्स आपको फॉर लूप का फैमिलियर होगा, ये एडवांस फॉर लूप है। ARGS अरे है जिसमें एक से ज्यादा स्ट्रिंग एलिमेंट्स हैं, और एक एक एलिमेंट को उठा करके मैं str नाम के वेरिएबल में डाल रहा हूँ, जो कि स्ट्रिंग वेरिएबल है, और फिर उस वेरिएबल को प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ। तो अगर ARGS जो अरे है स्ट्रिंग का, उसमें अगर 10 स्ट्रिंग्स हैं, 10 स्ट्रिंग एलिमेंट हैं, ठीक है, तो हर एक एलिमेंट की वैल्यू प्रिंट हो जाएगी। ओके,
जी सर।
नाउ my question is this is a pretty small program, and if I want to run this program, let me first compile it because I've made changes, right? So I have to say java c space demo.java again, so that the old code is compiled and the dot class file is rewritten, okay, or overwritten, right? So I assume my bytecode is regenerated and that old file is rewritten, okay. Now if I want to run this program, java space demo, right? So this java is nothing but the Java interpreter, right? It's the interpreter, and that interpreter is under the is basically going to assign a JVM to demo my demo by the program by the name demo, and that JVM is going to execute the main method. Okay, because demo is a name of a class, and main method is a static method. So you can assume that basically that the JVM is going to make a call to the main method by calling the uh, main method directly over the name of the class, something like this. Okay, so that's the purpose which is hidden. This is the line of the code which is hidden. That's within the JVM. So I have to just write Java demo. That's it. And I am assuming that the main method which is associated with the demo class, that will be taking the control. If I just press enter, what is the possible outcome that I get? Or what is the possible output that I will get? That is my question. You have the code here. There is a demo class. ARGS is the parameter of the main method, which is a string array. I am iterating over the ARGS, and I am trying to print all the string element of the ARGS element by element of one by one. Right? This code is clear?
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, what could be the possible output if I just try to run this program? Any guesses? Right or wrong? Doesn't matter.
सर TEST मतलब अलग अलग
फाका, राइट? फाका फिर से बोलिए एक बार. What were you saying?
सर आपके यहाँ नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है सर थोड़ा सा ज्यादा।
हाँ हो रहा है बेटा, लग रहा है मुझे. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अभी किसी ने जवाब दिया था ना कि क्या
सर
आउटपुट होगा.
TEST डिफरेंट
हाँ
लेटर्स.
बोलो. डिफरेंट लेटर्स. अच्छा, ये डिफरेंट लेटर्स कहाँ से तुम्हें मिले? ये वाले?
यस सर.
ये तो मैंने ऑलरेडी कमेंट आउट कर रखा है.
ओह
ठीक है, दिस विल नॉट बी प्रिंटेड. ये मैंने कमेंट आउट कर रखा है. Now tell me one simple question. What is that inside ARGS? अभी क्या है इसके अंदर? What you can think of ARGS might be containing as of now?
अभी तो सर कोई वैल्यू नहीं है इसमें.
कुछ भी वैल्यू नहीं है एग्जैक्टली. किसने बताया ये?
यस सर.
हुदैफा. ओके, तो अगर कुछ भी वैल्यू नहीं है देन व्हाट विल हैपन?
या तो सर
print भी कुछ
नल होगा ये तो।
Nothing will happen. Null pointer exception will only occur if we use a dot operator to call any variable, say for example, length length method, right? This is a length method, right?
यस सर।
ठीक है, अगर ऐसा मेथड मैं कॉल करूंगा डॉट ऑपरेटर यूज करके, then only I will get a null pointer exception because I am trying to invoke a method or access a variable using the dot operator on the variable name, right? Then only I will get the issue. If I have not invoked, then basically it's str is pointing to null, right? Str is pointing to null, so nothing will be printed, right? Nothing will be printed in that case. अभी ऐसा है तो कुछ भी प्रिंट नहीं हो रहा है, करेक्ट? ठीक, कोई आउटपुट नहीं मिला मुझे. Now let me run this program in a different way. Java space demo space t space hello space world. Okay, let's see the output now. Java space demo, and then I have passed some strings at the command line itself. ठीक है? See, the output is he, hello, and world. ठीक है?
ओके सर।
ठीक है, समझ में आ रही बात? सी, नल पॉइंटर एक्सेप्शन
Yes,
तभी
sir.
मिलेगा जब बेसिकली हम रेफरेंस वेरिएबल पे कोई डॉट ऑपरेटर लगा के कोई मेथड कॉल करेंगे या कोई वेरिएबल एक्सेस करने की कोशिश करेंगे. डॉट ऑपरेटर जब लगाओगे उसके बाद ही मिलेगा. ठीक है? इफ इट इज पॉइंटिंग टू नल, बेसिकली डू नथिंग. So a string representation of a reference variable which is pointing to null, it simply it won't print anything. Okay, so I don't get the output in that case. However, I will assume that the iteration has occurred. That means the loop is successful. There was a loop. But if there are no element, then that means nothing will be printed out. Now, in this case, when I have passed this variable in the command line along with Java demo, these arguments, the first string he will be stored on args 0 position. Hello will be stored at args first position, and world will be stored at args 2 position. Correct?
yes sir.
I can modify this program a little. For example, I want to see what index values the elements are. So let me say string element at index position. Okay, double quote plus int I is equal to 0 initially, and here I am printing I, then I plus plus. ठीक है, I plus under double quote is, as all the strings have been being appended. So first, I am expecting a print of a string element at index position, then the value of I, which is initially 0 in the first iteration. That means a string element at index position I is, and then the value. I want the value, right? So I will print str because str is the first element that I am getting. Then next time str will contain the second element, and so on. Let me save this, recompile the code and run it. Recompiled Java demo. Initially, I will get nothing if I do not pass any argument. And if I pass some argument, say for example, Java demo test, or let me say first, second, and third. First, second, third, fourth, and so on, right? So four elements I'm passing. So string element at index position 0 is first, string in element at index position 1 is second, string element at index position 2 is third, and so on. Okay? So this is the output I'm getting. So basically this argument args, which is a string array, is meant to collect the argument that you pass from the command line. Okay? That is why they are called as command line argument. Okay? It's command line argument. Clear हो गया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whatever I want, I can pass at the command line those arguments, and those arguments are stored in the form of a string in the string array args, and then we can iterate over that string array, and whatever we want to do, we can do with it. So normally this string argument or command line argument is basically meant for a lot of purposes, especially writing the programs which are say, for example, which are similar to the DOS-based command in nature. Say, for example, if I want to copy a particular file at different network locations as a backup files, primary location, secondary location, so on. So I can pass the path of the primary location and the secondary location as well as the name of the file in the command line argument. Okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to make things more simpler, let me give you an example of a program which is possibly meant to add a number of integers. Okay, so the number of integers which I want to pass to the command line argument. So for example, if I want to modify this demo program such that if I give something like this input as Java space demo space 5 space 4 3 space 4 space 7 space 8 and so on, any number, let it be one argument, two argument, three argument, four argument, and five argument, or 10 arguments, whatever, maybe 100 arguments. So it should give me the sum of all these elements. Okay. So for the demonstration purpose, we are going to write a small program which will add all the arguments, the integer arguments that I pass at the command line, and it will return me the sum. It is going to print me as an output the sum of all these numbers that I pass as a command line argument. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we know how to iterate over the elements. Let's comment out this code, or in fact, remove the unnecessary code so that we should not be confused. So we have got public static void main string args, and over this string args, we are iterating using the advanced for loop. And let's say we have got an int variable int result, which is initially 0. Okay. Now I want to add each and every element one by one. So can I do this? Result is equal to result plus str, and then finally when we are out of this loop from starting from here to here, each and every element is added to the result. then can we print the result system dot out dot print ln the sum is equal to under double quotes plus result. Will this work? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Asif says yes, and others.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we try it?
सर रिजल्ट प्लस प्लस नहीं लिखेंगे नीचे.
Result plus plus क्यों लिखेंगे? Result. Look at the code again. Result is still initially pointing to 0. ठीक है? So I am assuming the first argument is 5. So 0 plus 5 is 5, and the 5 is assigned back to the result. Second iteration, the argument is 7. So result was already 5. 5 plus result, yani 5 is result is replaced by 5, and then str is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. So that is 12 is reassigned to the result, and so on. So this is advanced for loop, right? I do not need to have the index position here. That was just for the demonstration purpose I did for the index position in the earlier program. This program is simply, I am going to iterate over each and every element, and I want to basically fetch the elements one by one and add to the result. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So how many
sir.
of you think that it will not work? Is there anyone? Is there anyone who thinks there is a problem with the particular code? No?
So I think it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, let's try to run it then. I should compile it again, right? Java C demo.java, because the code has changed, so I will compile it again. Correct? Compilation is done. That means no compilation error. Now Java space demo say 2 space 3 space 4 space 5. So what should be the output?
14.
14. I think I have not saved the file. Okay. Control S. Java C space demo.java. Now see. What is the error that we are getting?
Sir, string.
It's a compilation error, right?
Yes.
And what is the error?
स्ट्रिंग को इंटीजर में कन्वर्ट नहीं कर सकते.
हाँ, ये किससे बताया अभी?
अमन सर.
अमन पहले एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था मैं, क्योंकि ये पहले मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ कि an argument which is a string, this is an argument, array argument of a string elements, right? I cannot do a computation on a string element, right? So what should I do then?
str dot to integer.
सर कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं.
Dot to integer कोई मेथड होता है?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. To string तो होता है. Let's see. String str. Okay. str dot to integer. No. To string होता है. To integer नहीं होता है बेटा. You can convert to a character array. That's fine. You can convert anything to a string, which is an object. Yeah,
Sir,
again,
percent. Sir, percent.
parse int. Himanshu and who said
Yes, sir.
Aman, right? Okay. So we have seen in earlier classes that there is a very basic technique to convert a string element to integer, or just a string element to any numerical value by calling the corresponding converter method, that is, well, parser method on uh, the wrapper class. So if it's an integer, then I have to use the integer wrapper class. I want to convert it to integer, then I will use the integer wrapper class. And then what is the name of the method? Parse int, right? And inside it, I will pass the str. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, hopefully, it should work. Let me compile it again. The compilation is done. Now, Java space demo space 2 space 3 space 4 space 5, and you see the sum is 14. Okay. So got the idea?
Yes,
Command
sir.
line argument is nothing but basically used to pass some arguments while the program, we want to run the program through the command line. Okay. So these parameters could be passed as string elements to the args array, which is a string array. And if we want to pass anything which is basically something else from the string, from its nature, like this is integer, then it will be received as a string. But then in that case, we have to convert it to the required or the desired, format. So if this is an integer, I will use integer.parseInt. If the values passed are floating point numbers, then probably I must have in that case used float.parse float and so on. Okay. So this is how we will do. Okay. Now, let's assume I want to write a program to add two numbers. Okay. Not using the command line. Command line is over. Command line argument is over. Now, it's a different topic. The topic name is variable argument. Okay. Or what you call as vararg. So what I want to do is I want to write a program to initially, let me say, to add two numbers. Okay. So let me have the class name as adder. Okay. And what should I write? Any function? Tell me. That could add two numbers.
Public void add.
Public void add. Then two integers say
Yes, sir. Brackets के अंदर
x1 comma int
x2.
x2. Then under the curly braces, let me say system.out.println, and I will print x1 plus x2. Okay. Is the program okay?
No, sir.
What's wrong?
Sir, it is not taking value.
It is not taking values. Means?
Yes, sir. We have to scan value from the user.
That's another thing. We have not passed the values as of now.
Yes, sir.
But the function to add two integer values is correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me write the main method. Public static void main string args, and then we need to create the object of the adder class, because main is a static method, and we cannot call the add method, which is a non-static method, from the static context, right? We know the rule, right? So adder add is equal adder add int util is equal to adder new adder. ठीक है? Then we can basically call the add method, and we can pass the value 5, say 5,7. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the output if you run this program?
12.
12.
Have you done anything wrong? It's not finding the, okay. What is the wrong here? Tell me.
सर स्ट्रिंग्स आर्ग्स के आगे सर वो ब्रैकेट्स.
हाँ, वो नहीं लगाया हमने ना, इंडिकेटर की ये अरे है. तो because it's not considered as array, so it was not considering it, the JVM was not considering it, this main method as the same method which is required for the execution, right? So it was not showing me, run as Java. Okay, now it's showing me Java application, run as Java application. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप देखिए, अगर आपको ऐसा दिख गया ना, जैसे कि अगर मैंने कुछ गलती कर दी है कमांड लाइन में, तो सिंपली क्या होगा, when I will try to run it, you can just check it from here. It will only show run configuration, but it will not show the option of run as a Java application. ठीक है, so that means you have some problem here in this line. It's not finding the main method which is required. So I will put the array, indicator, and then I will see the option as Java application. ठीक है, ये आपको डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे क्लिक करने में पता नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा ना, यहाँ पे तो रन नहीं करेगा. Now if I try to run it, I will get the output 12, right? ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I want to add the functionality to add 3 numbers as well, along with the 2 numbers. That means the earlier functionality to add 2 numbers should remain intact, and I want to add another functionality to add 3 numbers, so that the code that I'm writing now should start working. Add int util dot add, and if I pass 3 numbers, say 3, 4, 7, this should start working.
No, sir.
As of now, we do not have this method. It takes 3 parameters, right? So what should we do?
Pass another variable.
Developer.
बताइए भाई क्या कह रहे थे?
Sir, pass another integer variable.
I passed another value, but the code will not compile. 3, 4, 7 pass तो कर रहा हूँ, but the code will not compile because
Sir,
the method available takes only 2 parameters.
सर add function में ऐड करना है.
Add function में एक और variable add करना है.
No, I do not want to change this method because I also want this code to work. अगर मैं इसमें change करूंगा तो क्या होगा? int x3 for example, ये वाला कोड फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगा ना? So now it's accepting the three variables. I want to increase the functionality. The earlier functionality I do not want to turn off. तब क्या करूं मैं? यानी पुराने मेथड को मैं चेंज नहीं करूंगा अभी. अब क्या करूं बताओ?
सर उसी में पास नहीं कर सकते ना तीनों वैल्यू अलग से, एक और ऐड करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ तो क्या करना चाहिए बेसिकली, सॉल्यूशन क्या है इसका? अब तक जो कुछ आपने पढ़ा है, whatever you have studied so far, is there any solution available for the question that I am posing till now? That I want the functionality to add 2 numbers, I want to add the functionality of adding 3 numbers as well.
ओवरलोडिंग सर।
Overloading. इतनी सिंपल सी बात थी, राइट? कौन था अभी, किसने बताया?
सर अमन।
Aman. So what I can do is I can just overload this method, and here I will add int x3, and here also I will have to add x3. Right? The code is working now. Okay. The next day, if I say that I want to have another functionality that can add 4 integers, and I also want to keep the functionality to add 2 integers as well as 3 integers. This is how your code improves, right? Your functionality keep on adding in your application. ठीक है, रिक्वायरमेंट ऐसे ग्रो करती है ना भाई। इनिशियली आपको कम चीजें पता होती हैं, धीरे धीरे फिर क्या होता है, इसमें ये भी ऐड कर दो, इसमें ये भी कर दो, इसमें ये भी कर दो, ऐसे भी हो जाए, वैसे भी हो जाए, ये सारी रिक्वायरमेंट आती है। दिस इज जस्ट अ वेरी वेरी माइक्रो एग्जांपल ऑफ इट। रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स आर समथिंग डिफरेंट, but this is just a very very micro level example and a very specific example here. Now I want to have the functionality to add 4 integers also. अब क्या करें?
एक और मेथड।
एक और मेथड ओवरलोड करें। किसने बताया?
सर एक और ओवरलोड।
आसिफ एंड अदर?
फाइका।
Fire. Okay, correct. We can add another method, overloaded method that takes 4 parameters this time, right? What if my manager says, no, I want to write a program which can add any number of integers that I pass to it? Then
और फिर यूजर से ले सकते हैं हम वैल्यू की।
सर लूपिंग, फॉर लूप।
फॉर लूप। और पैरामीटर क्या होगा ऐड मेथड का?
फॉर सर एक इंटीजर वेरिएबल ले लेंगे, उसको सर फॉर इंट के अंदर स्कैन करवा देंगे i++ करवा के।
इंटीजर वेरिएबल या इंटीजर अरे?
इंटीजर एरे सर।
अरे, राइट। तो इन मेथड को हम रिप्लेस करेंगे। लेट मी पुट इट इन द कमेंट। See, when I was very young, I went for a job interview in one of the companies, and there was a client sitting in the US. He started asking me to write a program to add 2 numbers, just like this. Then he asked me to write the program to add 3 numbers, and he keep on increasing his requirement. So check what I will do in different situations. ठीक है? तो भाई जो आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये मेरे साथ वाकई हुआ है, इसलिए बता रहा हूँ। तो अब क्या होता है, वो चीज जमाना खत्म हो गया है कि एक वर्बल इंटरव्यू लेकर के नॉर्मली हायर कर लेते हैं, अभी भी होता है, ठीक है, लेकिन नॉर्मली अब क्या होता है कि आपको टेस्ट करते हैं। वो 1 साल का भी एक्सपीरियंस हो गया तब तो पक्का आपको कंप्यूटर बैठा देंगे। ठीक है, ये मेथड डिक्लेरेशन सही है? इज इट करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now this array can contain any number of elements that I want to pass to it. So now what I can do is I can iterate over this array for int x, and I will give the name of the array int ARR, and here let the result is equal to 0 as in the previous program with the command line argument. Result is equal to 0. Int, sorry, I forgot, int result is equal to 0. Result is equal to result plus x, correct? Only when I come out of the loop, what I can do is system.out.println result, and I can add some string as sum is equal to the double quote result. सही लग रहा है कोड?
15 नंबर में सर एरर शो कर रहा सर।
स्ट्रिंग के साथ करना।
फिर से बोलिए क्या कह रहे थे?
सर प्लस
प्लस यूज नहीं करा सर आपने स्ट्रिंग के साथ।
लाइन नंबर 15।
अच्छा, यहाँ पे
यहाँ सर
ओह।
प्लस।
ठीक है ना? अब मैं पास क्या करूं यहाँ पर? ये 5 7 या 3 4 7 की जगह मैं पास क्या करूं? What should I pass in these methods which are declared in the line number 20, 19 and 20?
नथिंग सर। सर हमें इनफाइनाइट वैल्यू लेनी है ना।
At my wish, I can pass 2 values, I can pass 3 values, but the parameter here is array, right?
यस
So I should pass the value in the format of the array, right? I cannot pass like 5, 7, which are two distinct integer elements or integer parameters. The argument which should be matched to individual parameters. I cannot pass this way, right?
यस सर।
अरे अगर आप मुझे बनाना होता 5 7 का तो कैसे बनाता मैं? int array, ठीक है, ARR for example is equal to new int, ठीक है, and then
फाइव 7
कहाँ डालूं मैं?
ब्रैकेट्स के अंदर।
कौन से ब्रैकेट के अंदर? इसके अंदर
यस सर।
5,
7
7
सेमीकोलन।
चलेगा ये? क्या फॉर्मेट होता है इंटीजर अरे डिक्लेयर करने का? इनलाइन। आई वांट टू डिक्लेयर इंटीजर अरे इनलाइन। व्हाट इज द फॉर्मेट? कैन समवन गूगल? अगर याद नहीं है तो गूगल करो, बताओ क्या फॉर्मेट होता है? चैट बॉक्स में लिखो जरा।
सर
लिखा?
यस सर।
ओके ये किससे बताया था अभी? Himanshu says that I should do something like this. चलेगा? अब यहाँ क्या पास करें? करेक्ट है? देख लो एक बार. Is it correct?
Yes.
या ऐसा लिखने के बजाय whether I can do it something like this, the same format, I am just changing. New int. Just a minute, guys. Hello. वालेकुम अस्सलाम. कौन? नहीं बेटा, मैं बिजी हूँ, अभी क्लास ले रहा हूँ. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Correct है?
Yes, sir.
What I am doing is, here is I am creating a new int type array object and I am initializing it in line just at the same time the way I have done it here. But here this array has got a name, ARR. And in this line, I am not giving the name of this array. This is called as anonymous declaration of a variable. Anonymous object creation. You can say anonymous object creation. That means the object doesn't have a name. Here the object has a name. Array is an object, we know that. Whatever kind of array it is, it's an object basically. So this array has a name by the reference variable ARR. Here there is no name, right? I'm not giving it a name. It's anonymous. But whatever purpose that I want to do, that purpose is served, right? I want to create a new object with some value inside it, and that object is array object is created, and that value is passed. And when it is passed and it comes to this particular method, it gets a name, int ARR, here in this method, under the scope of this method. Okay? So if you see a code like this, like new string, and then you are passing some value of the string under the constructor, or new, say, student, and you are creating an object directly over there. So this is technically, or by the name of this kind of initialization or the object creation is called as anonymous object creation. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let me run it. It will work. Okay? Now if I want to add 3 numbers, I can pass 3 numbers. This should also work. Okay. Now we have got a simpler format to do the same thing. That means what we have been doing using an array. The same thing we can do with just a simple variable, and that variable is called as variable argument or vararg. Or var -arg in Java. Okay. Same method. I'm rewriting the same method in a different way. So let me have public void add. Let me comment this code. Okay. Add int type variable 3 dots and an x, the name of the variable. Okay. And the rest of the code is going to remain the same. So look at this code. Try to understand what is happening. Compare this format with this. Is it not the same thing? Even if I replace this name by the same name, say int ARR. Okay. Let me add here int ARR. It is X only. Same thing. I'm just trying to remodify it so that you can easily be in a position to relate the things. Now look at both the codes. Tell me, is it not the same thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's the same thing, right?
Yes.
Now I will call the add method. I'll pass 2, 3, 4. Okay. The answer is 9. There is a difference in this code, which is a client code that calls the add method. Compare it with the code which calls the add method, where the add method was taking an array of integer. In that case, I had to pass the reference variable of either an array holding the value or create a new object of array that contains the inline value initialized. Here, what I am passing are individual values, the individual integer values in the add method, just like I am used to pass. If there are 2 values, if there are 3 values, so I can pass accordingly. Similarly, I can make another call, add into util dot add, and I can pass 4 values this time, 2, 3, 4, 5, say, semicolon. Okay, and let's see the output. The earlier line says the sum is 9. The second line, line number 28 says the sum is 14. Okay. Now this format is called as the var_arg format. var_arg format. So what I have done is I have declared a variable argument of type integer by writing integer, then 3 dots, then the name of the variable. And in fact, this name of the variable is nothing but actually an array of type integer. Internally, it is converted to an array of type integer because the rest of the code is actually meant for to be worked over an array, as you can see. Correct?
Yes.
एक बार लेट मी रिपीट इन हिंदी. देखिए जो कोड हमने पहले लिखा था वो क्या था कि भाई एक अरे हम बना रहे हैं जो कि इंटीजर टाइप का है और उस अरे पे आइटरेट कर रहे हैं वन बाय वन, एलिमेंट बाय एलिमेंट, और उस एलिमेंट को रिजल्ट में ऐड करते जा रहे हैं. रिजल्ट इनिशियली 0 से शुरू हो रहा था, उसी को हम फाइनली रिजल्ट को प्रिंट कर दे रहे थे लूप से बाहर आकर के. ठीक है. नाउ विद दिस फॉर्मेट हैज बीन एडेड इन जावा 1.5 और इसमें क्या हुआ कि उसी फॉर्मेट को हमने रिप्लेस करा इस तरह से कि भाई ये रहेगा अरे तब भी इंटरनली, बट द फॉर्मेट इज you give the type 3 dots and the name of the array. So this array is basically meant to capture variable arguments which is being passed like 3 distinct elements or 4 distinct elements, not as an array. तो add method में जो मैं पास कर रहा हूं, अर्लियर क्या पास कर रहा था, एक ऑब्जेक्ट पास कर रहा था अरे का जिसमें 3 एलिमेंट हो या 4 एलिमेंट हो या 5 एलिमेंट हो या 10 एलिमेंट हो या 1000 एलिमेंट हो. अब मैं क्या पास कर रहा हूं, अब मैं एलिमेंट बाय एलिमेंट पास कर रहा हूं जैसे कि मैं किसी ओवरलोडेड मेथड में पास करता हूं. करेक्ट?
यस सर.
तो अरे क्रिएशन से मैं यहां बच रहा हूं. दिखने में कोड मेरा ज्यादा सिंप्लीफाइड लग रहा है बट इंटरनली इट्स एन अरे इटसेल्फ. अरे के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं है. प्लस I get the other advantage as well. For example, along with this var_arg, I can have in the parameter list the normal other elements as well. Say for example, I can have float x1 now this method takes one floating point variable and the other an array of integer. That means it has got one floating point number and a var_arg of integer. So what I can do is I can pass a floating point number, say 5.6 or 7f, comma 2 plus 3 plus 4. Similar here also 8.9 f, comma 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Now let's say that what I want to do is I want to divide the result by this floating point number. So let me have a floating point result, float result final is equal to result divided by x1. And here instead of printing the result, I want to print the result final. Is it okay? Look at the code and let me know.
नो सर.
फिर से बताओ. देखो अभी क्या किया मैंने, ये तो समझ गए ना वेरार क्या होता है.
यस सर।
ठीक है।
Yes, sir.
अब वैराग के साथ मैं क्या कर रहा हूं कि नॉन वैराग पैरामीटर भी ऐड कर रहा हूं इसी सिग्नेचर में। ठीक है। तो पहला वेरिएबल जो हो गया वो क्या है, फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर हो गया, उसके बाद वैराग हो गया, यानी एक नंबर तो मुझे पास करना है फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर, उसके बाद जितने चाहूं मैं इंटीजर वैल्यू पास कर सकता हूं, 2 3 4 5 हजार। ठीक है। सीक्वेंस मैटर करता है। सीक्वेंस अगर पहला है फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर का, तो पहले मुझे क्या पास करना है, फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर मैटर कर पास करना है, पहला एलिमेंट, पहला आर्गुमेंट। उसके बाद जो आर्गुमेंट मैं पास करूंगा वो क्या होंगे, वो 2 3 4 जो है ये मैच करेंगे इस वैराग से, विच इज एक्चुअली एन अरे इंटरनली। ठीक है। So that means 5.7 is received in X1, then 2, 3, 4 is received in this where are int array, which is actually an integer of which is an array of integers. ठीक है, इसमें रिसीव होंगे। Now for integer array we have added all the elements one by one and collected the result in the result variable. Now we want to, my purpose was to add all the integer number and divide by the first parameter, which is the floating point number that we are passing. So the result, if you want to do this, is also going to be a floating point number. So that's why I declared a variable float result final is equal to result divided by x1, this variable, which is a floating point number again. Okay. And then we have printed this final result. Is it okay? Guys, is it okay now, or do you want to repeat me? You want me to repeat again?
नो सर।
Yes, sir. Okay.
बेसिकली देखो हम कर क्या रहे हैं, सिंपल सी बात है कि भाई पहला जो आर्गुमेंट हम पास कर रहे हैं वो तो एक फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर हो गया, उसके बाद जो पास कर रहे हैं वो क्या कर रहे हैं, पैरार कर रहे हैं ऑफ द टाइप इंटीजर। तो इसको हमने अलग से ट्रीट किया है, यानी इसको तो हम रिजल्ट को हम हम ऐड करते जा रहे हैं एलिमेंट बाय एलिमेंट इस फॉर लूप के अंदर। और ये इस वर आर के अंदर जितने भी एलिमेंट पास हुए थे उनको ऐड करने के बाद वो जो एडेड वैल्यू है, फाइनल वैल्यू है, वो रिजल्ट में हमने
Divide.
स्टोर कर दिया। उसके बाद क्या कर रहे हैं कि उस रिजल्ट वैल्यू से जो पहली वैल्यू हमने पास करी थी जो कि फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर है, उससे हमने उसको डिवाइड कर दिया। And because the overall result is going to be floating point number, so that's why result final is declared as float. Then we have printed that final result. Let me run this program. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What will happen if we change the sequence in the method declaration? We have kept the variable argument before the normal variable x1. So in this case, we get a compilation error. The variable argument type int of the method add must be the last parameter. Why this error? Because this variable argument has got no limits. Okay? Even although this first variable is a floating point variable, it can be concatenated and could be considered as an integer element, like 5.7 could be considered as a 5 integer value 5. And the rest of the values are already integers. So what will happen? All these values will land into int array, and the Java virtual machine will be confused that what is the purpose of this x1 now. So that's the reason why the compiler, forces you to declare the variable argument at the last position, so that initially you can define any number of parameters of different types, but at the last whatever is remaining, that will be landing into the variable argument.
So
ये बात
why
समझ में आई?
can't 4 be read as 4.0?
Okay, 4 could be read as 4.0. That logic is correct. But tell me, is there a limit on this int array? To what element it should consider its extent? That means it could have 3 variables, 3 values. It could have 4 values. It could have 5 values. So why not the JVM, pushes everything inside int array?
Okay, then it will not find the value for float x1.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a situation where there is a probability that the JVM is confused, because it has to figure out whether the value which has to land to this x1, actually which is the value, because all these values are eligible to land into this int array itself. And now, okay, you said that okay, float could be treated as an integer value and should be concatenated. We know that by default, the floating point number is by default a double value, right? ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
अगर यहाँ पे कोई डबल वैल्यू होती तब क्या होता? 6.7. I'm not putting 7.7. I'm not putting an F. So that's become a double value. So there are lots of situations which can result into an error. So that's the reason if compiler enforces the rule, then there is a purpose to it. And the purpose here is all the elements which are remaining in the argument list of the calling method, after considering the elements which are not vararg, right? They are attempted to pass to the vararg. अगर मान लीजिए आपके पास इतने सारे एलिमेंट हैं, अब देखिए ये लाइन आपको एरर दे रही है. This line is giving you error because 7.7 is a double value and the double value cannot be placed inside a integer array. So that's a wrong thing. Now you are getting the right error, because what it will do is the first 5.7f is basically pushed to x1 variable, and then starting from 2, it is considering everything will land into int arr, the vararg. And the compiler sees the problem over here. It's a double value, whereas there is no problem here. Okay? The first value 8.9f may land into x1, but the rest of the values may just jump into the int arr. So you have to follow this rule that you may have any number of variables, normal variables, before a vararg, but the vararg variable must be the last variable, and that should be the only one variable. So that means I can have, say, a string str also. Define method call will impact. Okay, I will have to have a different parameter list over here to match the method. So say hello. Okay, now floating point number, a string, and then whatever is left is a vararg of integer. Okay, so 8.9 goes into x1, hello goes into str, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 goes into int arr, which is the array of integer actually. And here, as per the format, it is referred by the name vararg, variable argument. Okay.
So variable argument is for float and string also, no?
I can declare for any type. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
आप जिस भी टाइप का ऑब्जेक्ट टाइप का भी डिक्लेयर करें तो भी चलेगा. ठीक है. करके देखना है क्या?
So if you could use for object type, give an example for an object type vararg.
Okay, let me show you स्ट्रिंग खुद भी तो ऑब्जेक्ट ही है ना, ये देख लो,
Yeah.
स्ट्रिंग खुद भी तो ऑब्जेक्ट है।
Yeah. str is an object. Yeah.
ठीक है, ये चलेगा। यहाँ पे हमें फिर इंटीजर करके फिर str करना पड़ेगा, और ये फिर हमारे पास क्या होगा, स्ट्रिंग x। कंप्यूटेशन नहीं कर सकते, now I cannot do the computation unless I pass it, if it's a integer value which is being passed. So however I can print it, print करने का काम कर सकते हैं यहाँ पर। ये कर सकते हैं, राइट?
Yes.
The code now doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the logic will be changed then. Yeah.
यहाँ पे भी हम कॉलिंग पे अब चेंज कर दें, क्योंकि फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट हमने हटा दिया है। ठीक है, अब एरर आ रही है। ओके, so first is the floating point number. First variable should be 5.7f, for example. Then hello, comma, world, comma, new string anonymous object. Is it okay now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, I cannot do this, like for example int this is not possible. Forget about the method call, इसको तो मुझे करेक्ट करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पे भी नहीं कर सकता मैं। I will get the compilation error because here I have got two var, right? So there is no limit to the first var, so all the elements are expected to get into the first var. So the compiler is not able to figure out that what will happen when the program runs, when the JVM will be confused by the limits of the first var and the second var in the argument list. ठीक है, ये भी हम नहीं कर
Okay,
सकते। That means we cannot have more than one var in a method parameter list. ठीक है, and the var should always be the last option, the last element of the parameter list. Clear हो गया?
Yes, sir.
कोई doubt? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So let's stop the class for today. Let's have a few more topics are left, so we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay, guys. Thank you very much.